Hello folks and welcome back to the Shack. This is Joe N2DI, back with what I think will be the final installment on my NanoVNA series. Today we're going to delve a little deeper and measure filters and attenuators. This will be slightly more advanced than some of the other videos that I've done, but don't worry, I'll explain it all in plain English, so even if you're not a seasoned amateur, you will still understand what I'm talking about. Measuring filters and attenuators are through measurements, so that means we're going to be doing S21 measurements that require full calibration. We're also going to be attaching to devices that have BNC ports, so I'll be using longer SMA to BNC coax cables. And I'll also be using a BNC calibration kit that I put together. Now that's not absolutely necessary. You can still use the SMA calibration kit that comes with your NanoVNA. You'll just need a BNC to SMA adapter. And I'll discuss that when we get there. So if you're ready to do some more advanced measurements with your NanoVNA, then let's get started. Okay, the first thing we're going to do today is scan a 20-meter bandpass filter. This is the bandpass filter I use with my 45-watt silver Chinese amplifier because it has spurious emissions when I'm operating on 20 meters. The purpose of a bandpass filter is to allow only specific frequencies to pass through it while attenuating others. So in our case, this filter should block frequencies below and above the 20-meter band, but allow the 20-meter band to pass almost unimpeded. Now I say almost unimpeded because whenever you pass an RF signal through anything, unless it's a vacuum, there's going to be some kind of loss. This is called insertion loss. And you get this loss on everything, including your coax, filters, and everything else. On a good filter, the loss should be negligible, meaning something in the neighborhood of less than a dB. Also, it's important to know that bandpass filters don't have a brick wall on either side of the frequency that they pass through, meaning it doesn't block 100% of the power on either side of it. It has what's called skirts around it, where the power drops off gradually, and the loss becomes more and more substantial the higher or lower you go in frequency. The important bit here to understand is the filter's bandwidth. So that's the measurement where the filter drops off by 3 dB on either side of the filter. A 3 dB drop-off in power is a 50% power loss. So if you're putting 100 watts through it, at the 3 dB drop-off frequency, the signal should be cut down by 50 watts. As you go further, higher or lower in frequency, the loss should get greater. Eventually, you hit something like a 6 dB loss point, which will be 75%, and so on the further out you go. So how does this device help me with my amp? Well, when I transmit on 20 meters, there are strong spurs on 10 meters and above. So this filter knocks those spurs down to where they can't be heard. Okay, so let's get set up to take some measurements on this filter. Okay, to set up for this measurement, we're going to do an S21 measurement because we're going to be passing signal through the device. And we're going to want to see the log magnitude. That'll show you the loss in decibels over the frequency range that we scan. So first we'll click on display. And then we want the format to be S21 through. And we're going to select log mag. Okay, next we're going to set the frequency range. So since this is a bandpass filter for 20 meters, let's set the range from 10 megahertz to 50 megahertz because we want to see how much attenuation there'll be around the skirts and further out. So we're going to hit stimulus. Start frequency will be 10 megahertz. Stop will be 50 megahertz. Now let's switch the lights back on and zoom back a little bit so you can see the physical setup. Okay, now we're back and we have the lights on here, and I backed up a bit so you can see what I'm doing. I've got a couple of 1 meter cables that go from SMA to BNC. Now we're going to be using a BNC calibration kit. Now I'm just doing this to speed things up. You don't have to do this. You can actually use the SMA calibration kit that comes with the NanoVNA. You're just going to need one of these adapters. This is just a female BNC to female SMA adapter, and then you could screw on the open load short here. And then you just need a barrel connector to do the through. Okay, but in this case, I'll just be using my BNC calibration kit that I cobbled together. Okay, now to calibrate, we're going to hit calibrate, and then reset, and then calibrate again. And we're going to do the open first. I'm going to attach this barrel connector in the open. We'll do the open. Then we'll do the short. Then we'll do the load. For the isolation, I'm just going to attach the load to the second port. And then we'll do the through. Okay, and the through is just that barrel connector. And we're going to save that. Okay, so now we're ready to take our measurements. Oh, one thing before I turn off the lights and zoom in, I just want to show you that I'm going to attach the bandpass filter so we could do our measurements. I'll be right back. Okay, now with the filter attached, we can take our measurements. Now what you see here is the classic bandpass filter shape. That flat top is the least amount of attenuation, and those sloping skirts on the sides are where the attenuation gets greater and greater. Now let's look at the insertion loss. We're going to check out that flat top area. That's where we want to operate. And right now I have the marker set at 14.2 megahertz. That's pretty close to the center of the 20 meter band. And what you see there is we have a 0.46 dB of insertion loss. So we have about less than half a decibel. So this device on its label claims that across the bandwidth we should have less than half a decibel, and that's what we have here. Now let's look at the bandwidth. We can identify that by finding the 3 decibel drop-off points. So that is about somewhere around here-ish. So let's say about 12.8 megahertz is where it drops off, pretty close to 3 dB, between 12.7 and 12.8. That's the low side. Now let's check the high side. So right about there, we've got 16.4 megahertz. That's the high side. So they would consider the bandwidth between 12.8 and 16.4. Now we're scanning up to 50 megahertz to see what kind of attenuation we can get at the higher frequencies. So up around here, 28, 29 megahertz, we're getting 51 decibels of loss. Now that's the kind of attenuation you want to suppress a spurious signal. So that's perfect. So this is how you would characterize a bandpass filter. And the important thing to know is that the filter actually lives up to the specs that it displays on its label. Okay, next we're going to measure an attenuator, or in this case, a step attenuator. Now in the previous section, we discussed insertion loss. The purpose of an attenuator is intentional insertion loss. It reduces the power of your signal intentionally when it passes through the device. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, when you're measuring RF signals, they can come with a lot of power behind them. And that power can destroy sensitive test equipment like spectrum analyzers. So you'd want to intentionally cut that power down to prevent that from happening. Now, a step attenuator is basically a series of switches that let you switch in certain levels of attenuation for different situations. So for instance, you would need less attenuation for your 5-watt QRP rig than you would for a 45-watt amplifier. So this will allow you to switch the level of attenuation that you need. Now this step attenuator is a kit that I put together from HEC Kits. It's a great kit that comes in an aluminum enclosure. I bought this kit to protect my spectrum analyzer, but they do have a lot of other great kits there that you should check out. Now remember, I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I make my money from my day job, so I don't have to try to sell you anything. I paid for this kit with my own money, and it's been really useful. So now since I soldered this kit together, I want to make sure that it's actually applying the attenuation levels that are on this label here, because I don't want to destroy my spectrum analyzer. So let's measure it. Okay, I've dimmed the lights a bit here so you can see the screen while I flip some of these switches. I'm also going to save you the pain of watching me calibrate again. I've calibrated the NanoVNA to scan from 50 kilohertz to 500 megahertz. That's the operating range of the step attenuator. You'll see that once you go beyond the specified range of an attenuator, they don't do such a great job at attenuating. So just keep that in mind. And remember, we're still doing an S21 scan because we want to pass the signal through the device and measure the loss. Okay? So what we're looking at here is the log magnitude. Now, it might be hard to see the screen here. I'm going to zoom in a bit after, but right now it's showing about 0.1 decibels of loss with all the attenuators switched off. But now let's switch one of the switches here. That's the 1 decibel switch. Now I'm looking at a frequency of around 30 megahertz. And you can see now, well maybe you can't see now, but it says 1.07 decibels of loss, which is what we would expect. Now if we switch that back off and we switch on, say, the 3 dB attenuator, we have 3.09 dBs of loss. So I'm going to zoom in a bit so this is easier to see, but when you hear the clicking, I'll just be flipping switches and we'll be looking at the log magnitude. Okay? Okay, here we are zoomed in. Now the switches are labeled 1 decibel, 2, 3, 6, 10, 20, and then another 20. So now you could use these individually or a combination of them to reach whatever attenuation level you need. And the entire thing, when all the attenuators are switched in, should be about 62 decibels of loss. So let's check out the 1 again. And you could see right about here, it says 1 decibel of loss at that frequency. Now we'll switch that back and check 2. We're getting 2 decibels. Check 3 out. 3.07, that's good. This is the 6 switch. That's good. That's the 10 switch. 10 decibels, great. Here's the first 20. So we're getting 19.67. Close enough. And the last one, 19.67. So that's the last. Let's switch them all on, and we should get about 62 decibels total. And yep, we're getting 62 decibels. So it works. So now I can use this in conjunction with my spectrum analyzer and not have to worry about destroying the front end of it. Okay, folks, so that's how you measure filters and attenuators with the NanoVNA. I hope you found that fun and educational. Please leave any questions in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer all of them. So from the Shack of Joe, November 2, Delta, India, I wish you all good health and 73. Bye-bye.